destiny is to shed light on the paths of those who are open to living a life of freedom, self-awareness, passion, and clarity about their purpose in life. Every week we have a discussion, and this week's discussion is Spirits Are Always With Us. Find peace by connecting with them. And tonight I'm excited. I have two special guests today from Paranormal Crossroad. Everybody give a warm welcome to KJ and Kitsie.
Hello. So happy to be here. Thank you, Karmen.
Thank you. KJ, she is a girl from radio and TV who talks to ghosts, helps cats, and chats geek culture in between feeding her 7 rescued felines. Holy cow, you have 7. As an executive producer on Paranormal Crossroad, kitty correspondent for Pet Pals TV, and host of the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast, It's a Cool Weird Life, and I welcome you to be a part of it, as I love helping people and pets create their own positive stories. I love that. And Miss Kitsie, you are a paranormal researcher, podcaster, TV producer, and now self-care witch. Yes, you are. I love your product line, which we will talk about soon. Welcome, ladies.
KJ had said she took the time to write this whole thing. I'm just like, oh, here's what I do.
Kitsie, if you go to kjonair.com, you'll see that I copy and pasted that for Karmen.
Oh, okay. Well, once I do finally have a website, it's just going to say I'm a paranormal researcher, podcaster, and head witch supreme of That Witch Beauty.
I love it. I love it. So tonight, let's talk about all the things with Paranormal Crossroads first, and then we're going to get into your amazing products that I've been using as well. So, what is Paranormal Crossroads?
You want to take that, Kitsie?
Yeah, I got it. You did it this morning. I got it this evening.
Perfect. I'm going to have some lemonade in my Paranormal Crossroad tumbler.
Sure. So I've been investigating the paranormal for years. I lost my stepfather. I grew up terrified of it, actually, and I lost my stepfather. And we moved down here to Bloomington, Indiana. And in this house, and I'm not sure why, I felt a presence. And I wasn't sure if it was my grandpa or my dad, but I wanted to know that my dad was doing more than just sitting in a box buried up in Maryville, Indiana. So I started watching all the ghost shows that I was terrified of, and I became hooked. And then I went to my first investigation. Another team had invited me along, and I walked into this notoriously haunted location that was known for all these terrible things to happen, and it felt like home.
Really?
And fast forward about 10 years later, KJ contacted me in the midst of a pandemic / lockdown and said, my touch lamp is turning off and on, and it's answering questions for me. So I'm like, oh, cool. Well, my band just split up of Oddity Files. I'm going to come over, and I've been dying to investigate. So yay. I got there. We got all the answers. And it went so well. And I had another friend ask me to investigate her home because she had lost her son. And I'm like, KJ, want to come with? I can't do this by myself. Because when I was at KJ's house, she had a camera. Her husband had a camera. I mean, it was...
The cats were running equipment. It was insane.
Literally. Yeah. Trying to, anyway. And here we are.
And here we are. Yeah. I mean, and what's funny is that I found out from doing interviews like this that Kitsie didn't think that I would want to do something like this. Like, she was nervous to ask me. And after the experience that I had and really the experiences I'd had throughout my life, what happened that night with her, I wanted to give anyone and everyone the opportunity to have the moment that I had. So there was no question at all. I was like waiting for her to call me and say, do you want to do this more? Because I was ready.
Nice. Well, normally when you hear paranormal, people freak out. They think it's bad or scary. And so far,
that's what we're trying to prove is wrong.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kitsie.
You go first. No.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting that we came from such different places because I grew up with it around me and lots of weird things happening. I grew up in a very religious family, so it was like, hey, crazy Carrie, keep that stuff to yourself. But it was very normal to me. I had some childhood spirits that lived in my room. There was a spirit at my grandparents' house who um, regularly moved all of my stuff around. It was not a big deal to me, so it was never scary to me. I didn't realize how much further we could go in communicating and taking these steps to really get to know why they're there, what's their story, and how we can help them. I mean, we are, as much as we are helping people not be afraid of the paranormal, we're also finding that we're helping spirits get some resolution that they've been waiting for.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I grew up terrified of it. I really truly did. The first time a spirit tried to communicate with me, I lost it. I I was messing with the Ouija board the night before, and they're like, "Oh, cool, she wants to talk." Well, the first thing the ghost says to me is, "Get out." So I'm like, "Dude, this is my bedroom. I'm not getting out. I'm freaking out." We took the Ouija board out, tried running over it with the Plymouth Horizon 1972, and it I ended up just thrown in the garbage because those things are indestructible. And I was like, "That's it. I'm done." Moved back into that house. I bought it from my parents, trying to raise kids there, and that same voice came over the baby monitor, and I still wasn't having it. And then like 20, 30 years later, I'm like, give me more. So
And for everybody watching or replayers, please share your questions in the chat or the comment section for these ladies, and we will get them answered. So, KJ, I think you and I talked right about the time, maybe right after. I think it was at the very beginning, after you had the episode with your mom coming through the lamp, and you were like, "Hey, go watch this," and I'm thinking, this is freaking cool, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who aren't aware, I communicate with my angels. That's who I work with typically. I have been for several years. I communicate with my angel guides, and in a whole different fashion than what you guys use. And then was it maybe August when we went out to the Baker farmhouse,
Yes.
and you wanted to know the entity, I call it an entity, that I saw a month or two prior. And let me tell you, that day forever changed everything for me because I didn't know what equipment you all were using. I think of Ghostbusters is what I think of.
The box does look
pack.
it does look a little bit like the thing they caught Slimer in. So I promise you we don't actually like catch ghosts and bring them.
And that's what I want people to understand what you ladies do. And talk to me about how did you come up with the box, Kitsie, that you use? How did you share with the audience this box that you use when you talk
So
to spirits?
the box itself is called an odd box. All it is actually is an amplifier or a speaker you could get at Guitar Center. I just happened to buy it from this dude who was making them at the time. My husband and I were in North Carolina. I used to make him watch all the paranormal shows with me, and it came on the TV, and I'm like, "Babe, I need one of those." And the guy made like 10 at the most, and I have one. So, but what he teaches is it's not the box, it's not the spirit box that actually makes the noises, it's your connection with spirit. So I spent months in the basement with that box, building a connection with it, putting my energy into it, learning how to pull energy out of it. So, yeah, it's pretty much just a speaker so you can hear the little scanny box that they're able to talk through.
That they can manipulate their energy, because their energy, that's what I want people to know, is it's energy. And so when we were there, I did see an entity fly into the space, and I think I'm going to speak to people who crossed over, by the way. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we thought so too.
Yeah.
Well, first we got a ferry.
Right?
Right.
Can't forget that.
And remind us what episode. So, by the way, this is a TV show you all can go watch.
Yes.
What episode was that? Is there like a number or name of the episode that where the fairy came through?
Oh
I'm
gosh.
Alzheimer's years old. I will
Yeah.
look it up. Continue speaking.
Okay.
Please look it up. Paranormal Crossroad. We have an entire season. We just wrapped up our broadcast schedule, and now we're on demand. And if you go to paranormalcrossroad.com, you can click watch the show, and you can watch all 13 episodes, including the very exciting episodes that were filmed at Baker Farmhouse, where again, we thought this was a beautiful farmhouse that has a rich history, and we thought we were going to be talking to the historical figures who have come and gone through there. And instead, we were having this like other world experience, different dimensions, the fairy, the archangel. It blew our minds. It was a totally different experience.
Two-parter. Sorry, my internet's getting wonky. I thought you were done. It's a two-parter. The first episode is called The Elementals, and the second episode is called Found Her.
Found Her, okay. And I did see a spirit, an entity fly in, and somebody had, or the name Michael came through the box, and I thought, well, I don't know anybody who's passed away. Nobody in the room knew anybody had passed away with the name Michael. And so I thought, well, just for giggles, I'll ask if it's Archangel Michael. And that's when, I don't have my rods with me right now, the rods said yes. And I freaked out because that's not how I'm used to communicating with Archangel Michael. I'm not used to hearing a human voice. And that segment, I guess you could call it a spirit session, is on your YouTube. How do you talk to an angel? Please go watch that. It is absolutely phenomenal. And yes, Kitsie, don't be shocked, because that completely changed my life. And that's what I want people to know and understand is whether it's your spirit guides or your angels or your passed on loved ones, have information for you. They have message for you that could shape and shift everything for you at that particular time. And so that's why I really wanted to have you ladies on to have this conversation, because of that was just one experience out of multiples that I had, just because I happened to be there to share what I had seen like a month prior. And I didn't realize the angels could come through like that.
We didn't either.
No, we didn't either.
We didn't either. You were having such an emotional response that I think we were almost like, we have to keep it together, even though I'm like, well, hi, Archangel Michael. Totally normal.
I like sat up a little straighter.
Right? Like
it's on.
I did want to reference Karmen for people who are watching. In addition to the odd box that we are talking about speaking, you made reference to the things that cross. One of the things that we want people to know is that even if you don't have an odd box, there is a lot of ways that you can connect with spirit. We have a spiritual shop at paranormalcrossroad.com. It's an Amazon shop, and many of the things that we use you can get on Amazon. It's not like something you have to go seeking out. The Dowsing Rods is what we're referring to, and they are said to, because we're talking about energy is energy, and just like we can manipulate energy, water is a conduit, everything has its own energy to it. Explaining to these spirits that they can move these rods and cross them over for a yes and straighten them out for a no. Even being able to say, point to the person in the room that you want to speak to. I think they get excited that this is a tool that they can use too. Another one that I have with me right now is simply a pendulum. And you can see I'm checking the energy in the room right now, and you can see that it's spinning.
Let's do energy checks.
Spirit is here with us, guys. I mean, and you can do simple things to help you, because so many times people are they're just not confident, and we're still learning to be confident in our intuition. So if you start doing things when you ask, there's a spirit here obviously that is excited to talk, you ask yes or no questions to try to get them used to doing this. So you simply ask a question like, is my name Karmen? Well, my name's not Karmen, so it's giving me a no. It's going back and forth, am I wearing a blue shirt? Spin it if I'm wearing a blue shirt. See, and then you can start asking questions about your purpose. And are you a family member who is here with me?
Yes.
Are you my dad? And it's my dad. He's mad that we don't have the box because Phil likes to talk.
I love it.
These are simple things that you can do that will help the spirits around you who are trying so hard to connect with you, and in making that effort to show people that the paranormal isn't necessarily scary. Sometimes your loved ones have just done everything they can to get your attention and you're not listening. And so they have to bang the cabinets or flick the light on, or they're literally like, please, I'm here. I'm trying to help you. And you're not listening to me. So oftentimes those things that scare us, it's just your family members, your spirit guides, your angels trying to get your attention so they can help you with what you need to know.
And we're not finding like an 1872 Victorian lady in these locations like everybody else on their TV shows is. Yeah. It's literally people's family members. And even this past weekend, we had somebody's spirit guide. Like they're legit, I am your spirit guide come through. So It's so beautiful.
And Kitsie's referring to the spirit sessions at my house Friday.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
So much fun. And we'll talk about what a spirit session is here in a minute. And yes, Kitsie, we had somebody's spirit guide come through. My cat came through again. So yes, your pets can come through as well with messages for you. For me,
your cat was talking to you through the box.
Talking, yes.
Yes. And at first, when you have these encounters, you freak out. I think in pretty much every show you guys have me on video crying because I'm freaking out.
Oh, you are the best for the crying footage, girl.
Yes.
on the crying footage. And it really, I could then now ask other questions that I couldn't wrap my mind around when Bobby came through the first time.
Right, because it's just so mind-blowing. Like, do you have any questions for your cat? And you're thinking, I can talk to my cat? Like I don't know what to ask my cat. I didn't know that I could talk to my cat. And a lot of times when we do these sessions or investigations, things pop up days later or even weeks later that like put all of the pieces together. So sometimes, the messages that come through, we say, hang on to that because that's probably going to make sense later for you. Yeah. And so it was really beautiful to see your cat come through again and you kind of be in a place where it was like, this time I'm ready for you, Bobby.
Exactly. And I had asked if a close friend, she was like a second mom to me. She had just passed away almost a month ago. And I had asked if she was there and she came through. But then Kitsie, you mentioned something about because the timing of her passing. You ladies speak into that a little bit.
Yeah. So Karmen had asked specifically, and we are finding, I think in the beginning we were very nervous, and we'll never say that we can guarantee somebody's going to come through that you want. But we are finding more often than not that if you call on someone, they will typically come through. And Karmen was asking for a dear friend who's recently passed away named Judy. And Judy did make an appearance, but it wasn't a strong
It was just the Dowsing Rods, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just the Dowsing Rods, and we really tried. The thing is, and what I have learned over the years, and how to communicate with spirit, and what happens to us as we go from this life to the next life, and we are continuing to, go through our eternal purpose, if you will. There is some adjustment period that we go through when we cross over, almost like an orientation. So if you think about it, we know we're here to serve a purpose, and all of us are trying to connect to that purpose and try to do all of the things that we wanted to make sure we accomplished here, that we learn and we help humanity and we do all the things. So when we cross over, we want to take some time to review that, be like, how'd I do? Did I do okay?
Maybe nap.
I actually, the first time, maybe nap, right? Like, take a break. Aren't you ready to sleep after this? I am. But the first time, Karmen, I'll tell you, I had this experience with another medium who had this guy named Jim came through, and I'm like, I don't know Jim. And she was like trying to understand. He was the strongest presence of everyone that was coming to her. And he said, I'm here to tell you that your parents can't be here tonight. They want you to know that they got off track. I'm going to try not to cry. They know they got off track in this life, and they travel their lives together. So right now they are working together to figure out how they went so wrong when they were your mom and dad, so that they can get it right. And so they are working on that right now, but they wanted me to come and tell you that that's why they can't be here. So, I mean, imagine, 7 years later when we're sitting at my dining room table and they can come through, right? Like they did the work, they did the stuff. And so if you are, in a space where you've lost someone, you're grieving, you want those signs, you desperately want to know that they are okay. Sometimes you have to give them a little bit of grace to reflect on where they've been. If they had a traumatic death, they may need some time to just process the fact that they died, right? So don't get too upset if it takes some time, or somebody that you love doesn't start showing you signs right away, or maybe the signs are very subtle, as in that, a cardinal comes by, but you're like, I want to hear your voice. Give them a little bit of space and time to figure out what they need to do first, and they'll come through. They'll come through when they can.
That makes sense. So share with everybody spirit sessions. What are they and how they work?
So KJ had tried to talk me into this for a hot minute, and I'm like, I don't think this is going to work. I don't know. And then all of a sudden I shifted of how I was thinking about it. And I'm like, what if we do it like a Tupperware party, but it's a seance where everybody like brings a glass of wine or whatever it makes.
Kitchen. Yeah.
Turns it into a wonderful, beautiful experience where we're not just going into people's homes and doing the investigation. And she's like, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm like, well, now it makes sense. You call it a seance, and I am in, girl. I'm all about the old-timey spiritualism.
And so we are doing spirit sessions. It's, we do an evening in your home, and it is exactly that. It can be a birthday party like Karmen. It can be a bachelorette party. It can be just you and us if you want. There are so many ways that we can do this. But what we want you to understand, and Karmen, you've been through this with us now, is that there's nothing weird or intimidating about it. Once the spirits understand how to use the equipment, it's literally like they're just another person in the room. Mm-hmm. You're sitting around, you're talking with each other, and Grandma Marcella chimes in, and then she's, we had some fun stuff this weekend where we had some parents that were dishing the tea on their son and how disappointed they were with what he's doing right now. I mean, it can be, it's, it doesn't, sometimes it's these little things that you would just be talking about in a normal conversation, and they're so excited that they get to do that with you.
Yeah. It was fun to hear who came through.
And it can be very meaningful. It can be very profound and change your life and make you,
and give you the closure that you seek. Yes.
And it can
sometimes it's just being silly.
Yeah. Which is so fun for us. I mean, it's really, I think that we have become more relaxed in knowing that the spirits are going to come through, and the experience that everybody in that room needs to have is going to happen because we trust spirit.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And we do have a good question in the chat. Have you ever received any messages from spirit about what's happening in the Ukraine? And how can we be of benefit on the spiritual level? And I've got what I'm hearing as far as what we can do to benefit. I am curious, though, does that ever come up, anything like political or going on in society today during your spirit sessions?
No, I don't think these people want to talk about that kind of thing. I think they want to catch up and talk to their family members. I don't watch the news on purpose, and I believe the spirits probably do the same.
Now, I will tell you two things specifically with the Ukraine. I have been, and my empathic abilities tend to resonate more with the animals, cats especially, but really all animals. And I have been very drawn to the energy of the animals who are feeling this conflict and the pain that they are feeling for their humans. And so what we can do is just set our intentions to send our love to the people and the pets there that need it the most. And you don't need to be a Reiki master. You don't need to have any training to set an intention and send it out. If you need to do some kind of rituals are great. I mean, light a candle and ask that light go out and reach the person who needs it the most right now. I use my diffusers with my calming remedies and will actually fill a diffuser with what I think would be most helpful right now for the people and pets in the Ukraine. And I ask that Archangel Felier, who is an archangel who came from a different dimension, who is here now and specifically here to help our animals with their progression, I will call on him and say, help me as I set the intention for this water to become mist, send it out with the intention that it reaches the people and pets who need it the most. So anything that helps you feel like you're doing something as far as setting an intention and having it go out into the universe. Again, the more people we can get to intentionally send energy, the more it magnifies it and amplifies it and helps the world heal. So if you feel like you can't do anything, grab a candle, light it today, and set an intention that light burns for the person who needs it the most right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. My first message was meditation, and I send pink light. So people typically visualize the world, the globe in front of me, and to send that pink light and love to everybody there. And the other thing that we don't think about a lot of times is just as we consume food, we also consume what we're watching and what we're taking in. That's all vibrational energies. So yes, watch whether it's social media or the news. I'm like, Kitsie, I don't watch the news. I do consume news, just in a whole different way.
Yeah.
And make sure that you put time limits to it, because that can, if you just binge watch it or watch it a lot, half your day, or really focused on that instead of focusing on like what KJ said, where you are focusing on the love piece and sending that out, that is going to definitely impact your vibration as well. And the other thing is, I help people get to neutral, right? To, instead of choosing sides, which I feel like we're so polarized right now. It's probably the most polarized we've ever been. And so can you sit there in neutrality and have empathy and compassion for what's happening today? Because I think that'll help too. So great question. And we have someone, I gotta show you ladies. I don't know if you can see this on the screen. This is amazing. I highly recommend it.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Yes, yes, yes.
We
And
appreciate it.
you also have a live show coming up as well. Go ahead and share with everybody about that.
We do.
KJ, you're on.
All right. Both of us are like, are you going to talk? Are you going to talk?
I know. I'm just going to throw it her.
So Saturday night, you can experience all of what we've been talking about at the Athenaeum downtown. This is the historic building that includes the wonderful Raskeller restaurant, and the Basil Theater upstairs is in absolutely incredible place. We have been to the Athenaeum several times now. It's actually my wedding anniversary on Saturday, and we got married at the Athenaeum, so there's going to be all kinds of good vibes. But enough about me. We welcome you to come, one, to experience a paranormal event that is not going to scare you. It's going to change the way you think about spirits and help you understand how to talk to them in a way that is not scary. It will even help you understand how to actually set up your boundaries if you don't want to have a paranormal experience. We will be filming 2 episodes for season 2 of Paranormal Crossroads. These will be the first 2 investigations. First time anyone's seen any evidence, heard about these stories. Spirit medium Tiffany Rice is flying back into Indianapolis to bring messages to these people who we've investigated for. She doesn't know what we're showing the audience. She hides in her soundproof booth, and we bring her out after we've done everything. And so then the audience gets to go, oh my gosh, she's saying the same name. Oh, she's giving the same message. It's, I can't tell you, no matter how many times we do this, I'm the most shocked one in the room.
Oh, I know. I'm jumping up and down going, no way.
Are you kidding me? So you get to see footage of us being in a home. Then you get to see Tiffany do this amazing thing for this person whose life is being changed because of this. And then you get to hear the spirits. We ask the spirits around us, your spirits, your guides, to take some time and come through the odd box and bring messages for you. And then Tiffany does a gallery reading to kind of tie it all together. And what happens is it's a room full of people that are laughing, that are crying, and that all go home a little bit inspired and a little bit more aware of what's going on around them and how they too can connect to it. I can't tell you how much it changes our lives every time we do this, and we get to go home and go, wow, we reached more people doing this. So Saturday night, it will begin with a pre-show cast party. We have Hiatus Tequila that will be doing haunted hiatus margaritas, small batch soups. We'll have a wonderful little spread of snacks for us. And then we get right into the shows. We go into the spirit session, and we wrap things up with that wonderful spirit gallery reading from Tiffany Rice.
I love it. And I'm going to put up information about spirit sessions. I forgot. So spirit sessions.
Take it away, Kitsie.
So yeah, we would love to come to you to bring your spirit's voices to you. And the way to do that is to head on over to paranormalcrossroad.com. Is it a booking form or is it an email address? I haven't been on the website in a minute.
Right now it's just an email. You can reach out
Okay.
to us and we'll set up a time with you. We'll answer those questions that you have. We are booked out through the beginning of May. So if this is something you're interested in doing, I highly recommend that you get it locked in for the date that you want it very, very soon. We'll make it happen. We can do weeknights, we can do afternoons. We'll do our best to help you out, but know that we are getting pretty filled up with these spirit sessions as people are finding out, like, wait a second, I can hear grandma's voice again. For people who've lost a child, to be able to have that kind of amazing conversation. We want to do this for as many people as we can, but we're only 2 people. So
do we think about cloning ourselves at this point? I mean, I'm this close.
If we clone ourselves, is it the same energy though?
I mean,
that's a whole different conversation.
Little baby us and turn us into us, I guess, because I don't know how it works. Science.
All right. And these ladies have phenomenal products that some of them I've been using myself. So who would like to share your product line first? And everything's on Etsy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. KJ, go for it. I want people to hear about your new stuff. I'm so excited about.
Oh, thank you. So again, being in line with being the kitty correspondent, with having a connection to animals and having 7 rescues, I have learned a lot about how energy works with pets, and we don't address it enough, right? Like, we're working on ourselves, we're meditating, we're doing all the things. We forget that these little animals we've asked to come live in this home is not their natural environment. It's not what their energy's used to. And then we're like, why don't you just act the way I want you to? Because I wasn't equipped for this. So through all of my trials and tribulations, I have created a line of calming remedies called Storms and Melodies, named after Johnny Storm and Melody Pond, my 2 cats who literally pushed my energy to the limit. And I said, I will not give up. I will figure this out. All of these remedies are safe to use for cats, which means that they are safe for humans and dogs. Know that not everything for humans and dogs is safe for cats. Now, I would love to show you, I'm not going to go through everything, but I have a brand new remedy that will be revealed, go on sale at our event on Saturday night for the first time. And it is called Grace and Love.
Yeah.
This is Grayson's Grace and Love. This is my little Buddha cat. So when I make these, I literally create these out of the essence of my own cat, whether it's what they need or what they have to give. And Grayson has a lot of grace and love to give. So this is just like treat yourself to grace and love. They are it's all created with moon water. They have crystals in them that have been specifically chosen and charged by Reiki to serve the purpose that they are meant to. I use a touch of flower essences for calming, along with some veterinary grade oils, and it all becomes this wonderful concoction that will help calm your energy, balance your energy, and do the same for the pets in your household. You should also know that when you buy these on Etsy, I ask for the name of your pets so that I can specifically charge them for them. Yes. And I have Karmen is holding it right there. I have some specifically for you. The Cat Mommy Calm has been designed to help you so that when your cats are freaking out or your dogs are freaking out, they're having stress and you're having stress. And if we don't address it both, you are adding to their stress. Yeah. Calm yourself down. We start.
How I parented. I wish I'd had that back when my kids were still little.
Right? So I used the Serenity Meow on Bubbles.
Yay!
She's outside the door here sleeping in her anxiety-free bed. So we'll see she got in it, right? So that's
Good.
for bubbles. So I sprayed that on the bed, like you had mentioned. And so
yes, it's very important when we talk about any of our pets. The sprays are great for us, body spray, whatever, but you don't come at your pet with a spray. So, like, they don't like that. So
she's telling me that right now because I'll be like, Venus,
knock it off. Yes, yes. I also am coming out with a very specific dog collection. But no matter who you're using these for, your dog, your cat, spray on you is fine. Never on the pet. You want to spray these in the places that they spend the most time. You don't need to put this in their food or water or anything like that. This is literally spray it on their bedding, spray it in their favorite windowsill, spray it almost like it's a room deodorizer, but instead of deodorizing things, it's balancing things.
What about the litter box for the cat?
Absolutely. It's actually a great way to introduce them to some of the calming effects that these remedies have. So if you want to spray them in the box, it will. What's great about doing that is that every time they scratch, it's going to activate it. Because it's got little crystals. So I always encourage you, move it, give it some energy, move it around in your hands, shake it up before you spray it. If you spray it in the litter box, every time they do a little scooping around, they're actually activating it again.
Nice. I'm glad I asked. All right. Guess we're spraying tonight after this, the litter box.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, Miss Kitsie, we got to talk. I have the Get the Smudge Out spray. And let me tell you, this love potion number 9.
9.0, because there will be 9.1 and 9.2.
Oh, there is. So,
ooh.
All right. Definitely feeling myself with this. I tell you, I have a thing with smells. And it's interesting because I can't always smell everything. Mm-hmm. And whatever you have in this, it just, woo.
So, yes, I became obsessed with moon water during the pandemic. I mean, all of my like hardcore spiritual journey all began. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I worked on myself. Part of that became figuring out what moon water is, what you can do with it. And yeah, you can only drink so much. I only have so many plants I haven't killed yet. And I was meditating one day and my guides said, no, you need to use that moon water to spread the energy of the moon. So right before Christmas time, right before an event we had at the end of December, I came up with our rose toner / moon water. And I charge up all the water in the moon. It never sees daylight. That's why it's in these not so clear bottles. And I say that as I have a whole bottle of moon water right here. But yes, protect the energy of it. Make sure you keep your moon water. There is no moon water in the love potion, by the way. Out of the sunlight. Everything is charged with crystals. There's crystals up in there. And that's how you get these things to work. It activates the magic, mixes the oils with the moon water. My number one seller right now is called Hair Magic. I call them all potions because I like candles. I get the crystals out. My husband wishes I dressed more like Stevie Nicks in my pajamas. Magic was actually people who have had COVID and their hair has stopped growing. Some people, specifically KJ, my best friend, told me it's the same as a dry shampoo. I'm finding out things about this Hair Magic all the time. So I've got room sprays, which are laced with sage. My husband doesn't like the smell of burning sage, so I came up with some sprays that smell amazing. We've got the Love Potion, which is actually a genderless scent. So it's got pheromones in it that help boost your self-confidence, help you feel better about yourself, help you feel more open to interacting with others from somebody with social anxiety. And this one right here is called I Put a Spell on You. This is a eye puff mask. So you just put real thickly on underneath your eyes. 5 minutes later, you feel like a new person. It helps take away the puffiness, reduce fine lines and wrinkles, and also, it's got that anti-aging stuff in it. So, yeah, this is my life right now, along with talking to dead people, which is my favorite.
This love potion number 9.0, now that I know it's 9.0, does increase your self-confidence. I can attest to that. And I'd like to also try the lip. You've got a lip.
Mhm.
Oh, the venomous kiss. I forgot to grab some of that. Thank you. It's an all, and everything's all natural. I'm not putting chemicals in this yet, unless it's a chemical that's naturally in your body. That's my upcoming product.
Ooh.
But yes, it's got my intentions. And what makes these work, guys, it's your intentions. It's setting your intentions before you use them. And my tagline is be fierce, be fearless, be unapologetically you, and the magic is actually you. So that's my Latin life right now, and I freaking love it.
Sandy is asking, why is it called moon water and where do you get it?
You charge it under the moon. You really do. I have these now gallon jugs I have to charge out there. It started with little mason jars. I follow the lunar cycle. My favorites to charge under started with the full moon. And then I realized that the new moon was all about setting intentions. So now I'm doing it sometimes I'm doing it in a waning moon or a waxing moon, depending on what kind of intentions I'm trying to set. You just set it out there overnight, grab it before the sun comes up. That's my thing. And not everybody. There are no rules to witchiness, guys. No rules whatsoever. You make the rules what's best for you. My rule is get it in before the sun comes up.
Yeah, I've always heard that because the sun, I actually looked into like solar charged water, and there are actually some health things that you need to be careful with when water is charged by the sun. Yes. So it is actually very important that you get your moon water out. But Sandy, you could set some water outside tonight with your intentions for what you want it to do. I have crystals that I put with the water specifically as it charges, whether it's for self-love. Each of my remedies have their own crystals, and I actually take a little bit of water from the original batch that I made so that the water is always connected to the very first batch that I made and can set the intentions to amplify it again. But you can put crystals with it. You can, again, just set the intention like this jar is going to charge by the moonlight to keep me calm at work. and then
put that in a water bottle and drink it all day, girl.
Drink it, spray it. I mean, it's when you understand, and we understand what an impact the moon has on our planet, what an impact it has on water, what an impact it has on our mood. It's just a way to really bottle that up in a positive way and take advantage of it. I mean, the moon has lots to offer.
There's a reason energy. The moon is called the
where this all started.
What's that, Karmen?
There's a reason why the moon is called the queen of our emotions.
Oh my gosh. And don't we know it every time we try to sleep during a full moon?
It just doesn't happen for me anymore.
Now, can you charge during a particular moon cycle or any night, any moon? Because I know some people only will charge on a full moon, some only charge on a new moon.
You can charge any night, but if you are looking at that calendar, the waxing moon, the waning moon, the new moon, the full moon, they all are said to have different, different. I mean, you know that because it has an effect on our ocean and the tide coming in and going. The moon is affecting us differently depending on the phase that it's
women into labor.
Yeah,
it does.
That's when I learned the moon was real.
I know because of my cats. Like long before I realized it was affecting me, I was like, yeah, you guys definitely are ruled by the moon. But yeah,
And ask any kindergarten teacher.
I definitely think, I mean, there's no wrong time to do it, especially if you're setting your intentions for what you would like that water to be charged with, that energy that you want it to carry, and asking to make sure that the moon charges it that way, because it is what you're putting into it. But I too tend to put all of the water out that I can during the new moon, because it is a time of new beginnings, new intentions, and sort of a reset, if you will. So I always feel like that's a great time to create these potions that we're doing that are about balancing our emotions.
Yep. All right. Any last parting words, ladies?
You're
I wanted to
awesome.
give my website.
What you say about the website?
Yes, you are awesome, by the way. Sorry.
Yes, the website to get our wonderfully charged moon water. We're really bad at this, you guys.
So terrible.
So are your products on the paranormalcrossroad.com, or are they somewhere else for the products?
I think everything is there, but I'm not sure. Kitsie, I'm pretty sure I have your potions on there.
I honestly
The
don't know. Like I
website
said,
is
I
a
haven't
work
been
in
there.
progress. So your website is, Kitsie?
Thatwitchbeauty.com, and we have a Facebook group called That Witch Beauty Coven, where everybody just kind of gets together and we talk about the stuff and the things, and I post motivational stuff.
Yes. And then my website with all the stuff and things is stormsandmelodies.com. And just like Kitsie, I have a group called KJ's Cat Club on Facebook, and you're invited to post all the cat pictures that you want, because there's never too many cat pictures on the internet. But also, it's a great place to get advice. I love to see like people who start using the products, who have had two cats that couldn't even be in the same room together, and then they're posting this picture of them laying on the bed together since they started using the remedies. It makes my heart happy, but it also inspires other people. Like, okay, like I too can get my cats to a point where they're not going to kill each other. It's a really supportive, wonderful group where you can learn a lot more about how not only cats, but because we have people who have dogs that are in the group, but just learning about how our energy and our pets' energy intertwine, and how our lives are intertwined, and they are meant to be with us. So helping them on their path is as important as it is to find your own.
Kitsie, anything else that you want to share before we hop off?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for having us to your home last weekend. That was so much fun. And if anybody is in the Indianapolis area, we would love to have you this weekend at the Athenaeum. Just head on over to Paranormal Crossroad.com. You can get your tickets there. It is an experience like none other. It is very immersive. KJ called it that once. It is an immersive, wonderful, loving experience.
And it's a safe space. Very safe.
It is.
So
it is
wonderful.
Thank you, Karmen. You're just the best. Seriously.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Please go check them out. Thatwitchbeauty.com, stormsandmelodies.com, paranormalcrossroad.com. And for those of you who are tuning in live, thank you so much for taking time. Be sure to like, share this video. For those of you who are listening to the replay, maybe even the podcast, be sure to subscribe as well. Thank you all so much. We'll see you soon. Sending you my